In this video, I'd like to estimate how many ballots were actually cast on June 6. Due to the fact that people were either prevented from filming or kicked out of voting stations on June 6, all video taken on that day is insufficient evidence to confirm how many people were actually voting. Therefore, to estimate how many ballots were actually cast that day, I'd like to subtract how many ballots were allegedly stuffed from the official total to receive the actual number of ballots cast. Make note of the size of the ballots, because this is how we are going to estimate how many of those ballots were inside the boxes found at WeCare. Now, of course, we are assuming that the boxes found in the second floor of WeCare do in fact contain pre-stamped ballots for the June 6th recall. After I discovered that the boxes were full, the staff members said that they were filled with old petitions that were rejected. Now, if you believe that story, or if you believe that the boxes contain something else, then this video is not for you. However, if you do believe that there are pre-stamped ballots inside these boxes, then we are going to estimate here how many ballots may have been inside them. So according to this picture, there are actually 81 boxes, and there are 24 kilograms each, according to how I remember lifting them up, and they are 40 centimeters high.
现在我们来看一叠100张的选票，就像我们从银行取出的一叠10万元的钞票一样，厚度是连2公分都不到。总统票箱内最少可平铺4叠。
Based on the size of the ballot, I would say that it is reasonable that 4 stacks of 2,000 ballots could fit inside the box. If the box is about 40 centimeters high, it can hold 4 stacks of 2,000 ballots each. So 4 stacks of 2,000 ballots per box equals 8,000 total ballots. 81 boxes times 8,000 ballots equals 648,000 total ballots that can be stuffed on June 6. So for the June 6th recall, we have 969,259 officially cast ballots, and 648,000 estimated ballots can be stuffed from the boxes at the WeCare office. If we subtract the estimated number of ballots from the WeCare office from the official ballots cast, we get a total of 321,259 ballots cast by actual voters. Based on the total number of registered voters of 2.29 million, this would give us 13.97% estimated turnout rate, 28.17% estimated from the ballots stuffed, which gives us a total of 42.14% official turnout rate. Keep in mind that 25% turnout rate was needed to legally recall Han Kuo-Yu. Therefore, if these estimates are anywhere near accurate, 13.97% was not nearly enough to recall Han Kuo-Yu. We can also see that if the estimated number of ballots stuffed is anywhere near 28.17%, this is already over the 25% needed to recall Han Kuo-Yu. Therefore, from the official turnout rate, we can see that approximately 2/3 of the ballots may have been stuffed, and only 1/3 may have been cast by actual voters. The official results for Kaohsiung in the January 11th presidential election were 1.097 million for Tsai, 610,000 for Han, and 55,000 for James Song. However, as we've seen from previous videos, the strong positive correlation found in Kaohsiung suggests a massive amount of ballot stuffing on behalf of Tsai and a massive amount of ballot theft against Han Kuo-Yu. From the statistical analysis, the estimate for Han Kuo-Yu is 1.14 million, and the estimate for Tsai is 532,000. The estimated turnout rate for Tsai based on these results is 23.18% of Kaohsiung's registered voters. So if we believe the official results, 1.097 million ballots for Tsai is about 47.73% of the official turnout. And on June 6, 969,259 total ballots out of the total number of registered voters on June 6 gives us an official turnout of 42.16%. Therefore, the turnout rate on June 6 is about 5% less than the official turnout for Taiwan on January 11th. However, if we look at the estimated turnout for Tsai on January 11th, it is only 23.18%, and if we look at the estimated number of ballots cast on June 6th, it is 13.97%. Therefore, the estimate on January 11th is about 9% higher than the estimate on June 6th. Rounding up to 14%, we can also see that this is far less than the 25% required threshold to recall HanKuo-Yu legally.
今天邀请到2位来宾呢，我们第一位要欢迎的是我们 WeCare 高雄的发起人尹老师。
当然，那时候我们会很担心，这个选委会用什么样的形式来审查我们的这个联署书的内容？
是，
所以呢，我们大概而且要整理40万份到整理55万份，那个能量还是不一样。好，所以我们在大概整理到40万份的时候，我们就提早把这个联署书就先送进去选委会了。
Based on the estimated number of ballots cast on June 6th, I would call into question if they were actually able to get 400,000 signatures.
第二次修法是把原来只有1/3的门槛调高到1/2。好，就造成几乎罢免后面的罢免都没有过。到中华民国建国到现在100多年的一个历史里面，罢免案从来没有成功过。
是，
好，这是当时在26年前的状况。那当然，现在26年后，韩国瑜市长他其实面临到这个罢免，但我也认同黄议员讲的哈，这个就是让高雄市民来做一个最后的一个投票嘛哈，因为毕竟罢免就是在我们宪法里面选举罢免创制复决，本来就是我们的公民权，我们直接民权的行使啊。对于高雄市民来讲，他们大概在中华民国历史上，我们唯一有这样的一次机会罢免所谓的直辖市长。
是。
然后至于说会过不过，当然就是由我们高雄市民来做最后的决定。罢免这件事情是民权的一个行使，我还是要给高雄市民一个掌声，因为为什么？怎么会在这么短的时间内就有55万的市民在填写这样的一个联署书？
是，
不管怎么样，他罢免的对象或是理由是什么，这样的一个民主的一个过程，在中华民国都留下一个重要的历史记录。
So he's claiming here that there were 550,000 signatures. However, how come the petition to recall HanKuo-Yu was never publicized? This is why I said long ago in my first video regarding this recall that the recall was illegal to begin with.
回到刚刚那个罢免，就是说到底，57万罢免他，这个到底合不合理这件事情哦。那我想也有3个点跟大家分享啊。第一个点是说，其实他第一次赢陈其迈15万票是89对74啊，是那时候赢了大概15万票。可是，在今年的1月11号，他就只拿60几万票。
He's referring to the 610,000 ballots that HanKuo-Yu officially received in Kaohsiung on January 11th. As I've stated in previous videos, the number of ballots stolen from HanKuo-Yu in Kaohsiung was extremely high in order to set up the June 6th recall.
好，所以他在最接近这一次的高雄的这个选举的时候，他已经有非常大的，而且那时候蔡英文是100多万票，好，有将近48万票的这个票差，
也就是说流失掉了20几万票的高雄市民。
In actuality, the estimated number of ballots for HanKuo-Yu was about 1.1 million, and for Taiwan only 532,000 on January 11th.
那表示说高雄人对他去参选市长参选总统这件事情，但我想是不太满意的，好，所以才会有这样的一个民意的反弹。
So we can see from this interview that everyone who accepts interviews in Taiwan has to analyze Taiwan politics from the official results. They have to assume that the official results must be real, or else they can't say anything. This has created a very serious problem in Taiwan, where no one is saying anything correct because the official results have been rigged in the first place.
这个1月13号的时候 ，T 台做的民调还是有53的人，要这个支持罢免他，而且是高强度的。过了1个月，还是同样的数字。好，那这个是 T 台说53，可是其他台的跟其他的媒体做民调都破60%。好，所以这个事情是几乎这2-3个月都是非常稳固不动的。
He's saying that since January 11th, all the poll centers have a very consistent support rate to recall HanKuo-Yu. However, we can see from the estimated results that those polls could not have been real. The estimated results and the 60% support rate to recall HanKuo-Yu are very, very far off. The problem with Taiwan's poll centers producing false results dates back to around July 2019, when all the poll centers started faking their results, using the Hong Kong protests as an excuse for Han Kuo-Yu's reduced support rate. As I've already established in previous videos, Han Kuo-Yu's support rate continued to increase through January 11th, and Taiwan's support rate continued to decrease, as we've seen from the rallies. There's also a great deal of corresponding evidence to suggest that Han Kuo-Yu was leading the race by a very, very large amount by January 11th. However, this will be saved for another video.
但是全国的大选都有7成甚至更高。这一次呢，我们的桥头甚至是破8成的投票率。所以全国性的大选才有可能到7成左右的投票率。可是如果是单一选举的话，单一区域的选举的话，通常没有这么高的投票率。所以你用这个比例去换算，57万是非常非常高的门槛，否则不可能建国100多年来从来没有一次投票成功过。
He's saying that the threshold to recall Han of 25% or 570,000 ballots approximately is very high. In a way, he's actually correct, because I don't believe they got anywhere near the 25% threshold that day. However, when you're stuffing ballots, any amount of ballots can be reached. As I've stated in previous videos, on the night before June 6th, district offices were seen with their lights on for several hours. This is when and where groups of people allegedly divided up pre-stamped ballots from the boxes at the WeCare office to be distributed to the voting stations illegally in backpacks and bags. And we can see from this Facebook user here that she came down to Kaohsiung from Taipei and that she was encouraging Kaohsiung residents to vote in the recall. She was also saying, "Who dares to come out and vote? Why would people be afraid of voting?" So she's saying in these posts that she went to 5 places and stayed out till 4 a.m. Why does someone need to go to 5 different places from about midnight to 4 a.m. the night before the recall? In these Facebook comments, we can see that several members of their group are congratulating each other for the job that they've done and how they want to go after Ko-Wen-Ze in Taipei City next. So we can see here that she's saying mission accomplished or 任务完成了, and this is something that we saw a lot on January 10th when several Ing-Wen部队, or Taiwan's team, were stuffing ballots all over Taiwan. She's also saying that she can finally change her residency from Kaohsiung back to Taipei. This allowed people from outside of Kaohsiung to vote in the Kaohsiung recall election. Before the June 6th recall, there were incidents of people using face paint and masks to disguise themselves and encouraging others to do so they could not be identified. In the comments section, I accused the so-called blackface voter of doing repeat voting, but he just said that he was only encouraging people to wear a mask because of the coronavirus. Once again, the English language Western media missed the whole point of the face paint and the masks. It was to disguise repeat voting and people doing illegal things. It had nothing to do with racism by putting on black face paint. This is very typical of Western media to miss the point of things in Taiwan. So what's the point of all this? Why are there boxes in the WeCare office? Why were they completely full with what seemed to be paper and heading out towards specific districts in Kaohsiung? And why are the district offices open till late with people going in there and probably distributing ballots? And why are people disguising themselves before they go to vote the next day? We will see here what they were probably doing with these ballots by carrying them into voting stations in bags and backpacks.
接着我们再来看罢韩团体在投票当天用什么样的方式来灌票。6月6日投票当天，投票所出现非常多这样肩背大包、手拿提袋的年轻人。毫无疑问，他们都是民进党雇来重复投票与灌票的走路工。他们与许多投票所的选务人员里应外合，不但检查证件放水，还可任他们吸提袋进入，将大叠的选票灌入票箱。接着我们要来注意一件事，这个黑衣男在进入复兴国小时，手上是提着一个纸袋，当他在进入六合基督教长老教会投票时，手上又还是拿着一个纸袋。而当他投票出来之后，他纸袋里的黑色袋子突然打开，空了。这是什么意思呢？他为什么要拿一个空的黑色袋子进投票所呢？ 原来黑色袋子里是藏有选票的，在他进入投票所之后，已经把票灌进票箱了。很清楚，中选会李进勇继总统大选之后，再一次操弄选务作票。那些罢韩人士握有大量的投票通知和选票，这些人将选票预藏在提袋内，与特定的选务人员里应外合，进入投票所灌票。罢韩团体早就已经准备好作票要灌的选票，藏匿在他们的各个分部，但是却被民众拍到。这些箱子每个大约重20公斤，里面装满了选票，箱子上面还写着有要送往的地点。原来罢韩的人伙同不肖警察，死活都要阻挡民众摄影，为的就是怕有民众拍到重复投票与灌票。
We're about to see here the leader of We Care tell everyone to wear hats and face masks on the day of the recall.
但不要怕了，一方面只能够请大家戴帽子、戴口罩。
He's also telling people not to be scared. Why would people be scared unless they were doing something illegal? This was a common theme throughout the We Care rallies in the week before.
高雄人，高雄人，不害怕，不害怕，站出来！
This isn't just about We Care. There's also the Taiwan State Building Party and another organization that were helping out with this, as well as people from out of town. This video is dedicated to all who took part in this illegal behavior on June 6th. I hope you guys are proud of yourselves.
比吴一农还可怕，比吴一农还帅的，1001招，下面比他。